You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The views expressed by the individuals during this broadcast are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
Hi there, how's everybody doing today? I'm Green Irene, and you're tuned in to the Fibro-Fight series here on the Pace Radio Network. You can find us live every Friday at noon on paceradio.net. That being said, if anybody has any questions related to fibromyalgia or any other conditions in which we can use hypnosis, NLP, and and cannabis to fight fibromyalgia or any other symptom that you are experiencing or living with, any other chronic illness that you might be living with, such as, any autoimmune deficiency, arthritis, there's just hundreds of thousands of different conditions in which hypnosis, NLP, and cannabis can be your best friend and your greatest ally and defense against whatever it is that you're fighting. Now, this show is all about healing hypnosis, brain training and retraining techniques through NLP, and about responsible, effective, this is an important word, effective cannabis consumption methods that will help you fight fibromyalgia and any other condition that you might be battling, so that you can take power over the quality of life that you're living. Join hundreds of others who are learning the warrior way. Get on board using the hashtag Fibro-Fight series. And again, you can find us here on the paceradio.net. That's the paceradio.network. Fibromyalgia comes with a lot of physical symptoms, but not every symptom is one that you see. In fact, a lot of them are very hidden symptoms. Fog and fatigue happen to be the most obvious to me because of the weather temperature changes, and we're transitioning from summer to fall. The weather has had a tremendous impact on my ability to fight a fibro flare. And so instead of bailing on the show today, I thought, I'm just going to share exactly what it is that I'm dealing with, and that is fibro fog and extreme fatigue. Unusual, unnecessary fatigue. I did have a good night's sleep, so I should not have woken with the fatigue that I am experiencing. Knowing all of the symptoms of fibromyalgia and how they relate to you is genuinely key in learning how to cope with fibromyalgia. I really do strongly propose and suggest that you sign up, subscribe on the website at either greenirene.ca, which is the better choice at this point in time because I am merging all of my websites, or just sign up at fightfibro.ca. And that way you can download a template for creating a battle strategy that will help you to help you. The battle strategy is designed to help you identify what triggers you, and when you get triggered, the different things you've tried, what works and what doesn't in battling that trigger. Ultimately, you learn your own patterns and can circumvent some of the flare-ups, as well as reduce the impact that they actually have in your world. Fibromyalgia comes with so many different physical symptoms, but not everyone is a symptom that you actually see, as I already explained, because fog, for example, it affects your attention span. It influences the way that you spend your time. Like it just, it's very much a challenge, right? I want to share with you this here. Let me just add this to the screen. There we go. Okay. Fibromyalgia is a chronic illness that actually causes achiness in your muscles and joints. It's not a rare condition by any stretch of the creative imagination. A lot more people actually have it than you would think. There's around, at the last count, there was around 5 million North American adults that were diagnosed. And I know those numbers are significantly higher. So fibromyalgia will impact the way you think. It impacts the way that our memories are stored. I really wanted this to keep playing. Maybe I'll have to come back to it because I'm not sure how to get these things on link. So what is it? It's cognitive dysfunction. It really messes up your life. It's problematic. It often leads to increase in pain. There's some people that say, it's more of a disability than the actual pain itself. It makes you very sleepy, but there are ways that you can help you. And so, that being said, make sure you tune in here to the Pace Radio. So I just wanted to make sure that little slideshow played for you. Because it impacts the way that you think, the way that your memories are stored, the way that you're actually creating memories, and your ability to recognize things, people, or places. People often describe this group of mental symptoms similar to having a fog in your brain that just doesn't allow you to think cohesively or to see coherently or to string all of that together. And it's like you just can't get it. What it really is it's a multiplicity of symptoms all at the same time. So your unique symptoms may actually differ from other people who suffer from fibromyalgia. But in general, it causes disorientation. Some people become very forgetful or confused about, the simplest of daily tasks. Sometimes remembering their words or losing their words or their inability to stay focused and have your mind centered. So again, we're going to talk about some of the tools that we can use to cope with this, because like many symptoms you're going to experience with fibromyalgia, the severity of them can vary from day to day, year to year, season to season. Outside factors, things like a lack of sleep or an increase of stress at different times of the year also will have a tremendous amount of influence on the severity of your symptoms. So how do we cope with fibro-fog? There are a number of actions that you can take that will help you to continue to live a more stress-free life without suffering the constraints from fibro-fog. Some of the best tips that have been gathered from, online resources and stuff, the bottom line is they all accumulate to saying the same thing. And that is, first and foremost, create reminders for yourself. They propose sticky notes, and you'll see that my desk here is literally littered in sticky notes and such. But by the very same token, I have also learned a tool that has become instrumentally beneficial for me, and everyone I've recommended this to have all of the everybody I've talked to has said, oh, it just made the world of difference for them. I keep a whiteboard. I have whiteboards everywhere in my office. I have whiteboards in my room. I have whiteboards that I keep on my desk that I just knocked all my markers from. This is one that flips upside down, goes back and forth. So when I have the thoughts, whatever thought it is that I need to remember something or need to call upon a certain thought or a certain memory, and I need that trigger, because triggers can work both for you and against you, right? So since your body naturally gets triggered, Why not set some of those triggers up for yourself, right? And we can do that with hypnosis, and we can do that with NLP. And I will come back to those details in a moment. I just want to collect these. Otherwise, I will forget, because today, my friends, is one of those days in which I too am fighting fibromyalgia, the fog and the fatigue. It can make you feel very overwhelmed, that haze that comes along with the fibro fog. Even in your downtime, you can become focused on all the things you need to accomplish because of sticky notes and whiteboards and that sort of thing. They really do help to save time and energy. They help you to keep track of things that you don't want to forget, any information that you need to remember. It really does help to combat both the forgetfulness and the inability to maintain cohesive thinking patterns. So you start to think about something, and then we sort of feel like you have ADHD, because all of a sudden you're in a thought over here or a thought over here, and you lost track of this one. So you have to come back. The point is, with these, you can make little bubbles, use different color markers. I have set markers. I don't make rules about it. This was a thought about books. So when I was writing and read, anything that comes back into my brain throughout the day about the books gets written in red, because that's what I started the day off with. And maybe something like a Pace radio show is being written in brown, and the thoughts that go along with that will be written in brown. And so you get the idea of how we're doing that. With that kind of organization, you really can step back into the clarity of your daily routine without a whole lot of extra pressure, right? It is important to regularly keep track of your symptoms. Experiencing multiple symptoms of fibro-fog will lead to juggling of all your feelings at the same time. And you can't keep, now you can keep track of these experiences that will help you distinguish what's affecting you and when it's happening. So keeping a journal allows you and your healthcare team to determine when you're feeling at your best or at your worst. So again, we're back to that whole battle strategy idea again, so that you can map out what affects your fibro fog. It might be dietary, like you may not know it, but maybe that glass of milk you have with your lunch, your grilled cheese for lunch, maybe that dairy is having some sort of effect on your system that's triggering you. And then you found out through journaling or having a battle strategy that by removing or decreasing the amount of dairy in your diet, the fibro fog has decreased, right? I use that as an example because I just had a client share that with me, that, it was the dairy products. So again, our diet really has a tremendous influence as well. Keeping track through a journal, and again, you can find one at fightfibro.ca. Let me see if I can pull it up for you. Fightfibro.ca. And I'll actually share that page with you when it loads, because there is, so there it is. Let me see if I can just share that now. Share. Oh, okay, we're going to share this screen. Let me just, we're going to come back to that. Let me just see if this is the one that's sharing. Oh, it's not, is it? Okay. View tab. Okay, so we don't only want to see this tab. Can you guys see that clearly now? No, you're not getting the right tab. All right. Well, basically, I just want to see how much these are going for right now on the page. I believe it's around $35 anyways, and or $25 actually, for a fibromyalgia journal. It has everything in there that you need to help you keep track of these things, so that you can create a battle strategy that is actually going to work for you in a very positive way. And you can find them at fightfibro.ca or at greenirenes.ca. So keeping track of that, learning what it is that triggers you will again help you reduce the number of flare-ups and the amount of triggers. It'll also give you kind of a battle strategy in that, you know what? I wasn't able to circumvent that trigger, and now I've been triggered, and now I'm dealing with Fibro-Fight. I can't change the weather. I'm not God or Mother Nature. So yeah, I woke up having a lot of difficulties today. That being said, I can look in my journal and say, okay, what worked last year at this time of year in this type of weather pattern? What didn't work? And I can try something that did work. And if it's not working, I may need to tweak it a little bit. Either, one of the things that I definitely have to do, and most fibro patients do, is have a strategy of rest and relaxation, meditation, and hypnosis. In hypnosis, our brain, we can go straight to the subconscious of our brain and allow it to do the work for us, because our cognitive brain, our forefront brain, our conscious brain is all the critical faculties that are really stuck in the fog. But that lizard brain that hides out in the back, that core subconscious, isn't in a fog. So we just, in hypnosis, go straight to the subconscious and talk there and introduce the new learning patterns. And while in a state of meditation, or whether it's a guided meditation or just some deep breathing exercises to afford your body that opportunity to cleanse itself of any toxicity, any tension, any stress, 3 5-minute periods throughout the day of deep breathing is amazing. It helps with the clarity of the brain. It helps cleanse your body of any tension and stress. And that's 3 times a day. Take 5 minutes, go and sit. I mean, I've done it where I've escaped everybody that was in my world or in my environment at the time. Just gone and sat in the bathroom, closed the light, closed the door, turned off the light, sat in the middle of the room, took a couple of deep breaths, and went into a meditation for 5 minutes. It afforded me the time to come back out with a very happy smile on my face and comfort and a little more clarity. So that being said, it's also very important that you get enough high quality sleep. Quality sleep is absolutely essential for fighting fibro, period. It's absolutely essential for fighting anything that is chronic, because, as my grandmother often said, our bodies heal best when they are at rest. And I use that statement again and again and again. Now, lying in bed, just going bleh for the day and barely existing through life is not helping your body, of course. But having and building a very good sleep hygiene program, a specific sleep schedule, will help you prevent the flare-ups. It'll also help prevent things like fibro-fog. Establishing a set sleep time also allows you to form a more consistent sleep pattern. It starts retraining the brain, and because of the consistency of in introducing that, your body is actually able to rest more easily. It recognizes the signs that, oh, this is what we're about to do. So when planning out your bedtime, try to aim for at least 7 hours of sleep. You'll learn what your body definitely needs and doesn't need. And I know I hear people say, oh, my body only needs 4 hours of sleep. That's to recharge. It still needs to regenerate. And all you're doing is filling your battery up half. So, between 6 and 8 hours happens to be the absolute best, scientifically speaking. Yes, some of us can get away with 2 hours of sleep a night. Others need 12 hours. But somewhere between 6 and 8 hours is the optimal sleeping time to allow your body to rest, rejuvenate, recharge, and build the new cells that you're going to need to strengthen your body. All of that happens during a quality sleep time. There are things like there's obvious things you can do to help encourage that, like avoiding alcohol or caffeine, of course, which keep you up significantly later than anticipated. Now, if you fall asleep later than you want to, you may actually start to see disruptions in your rest. So things like adding exercise to your regular routine not only helps to fight off the pain and achiness that comes from having fibromyalgia, but it also subdues the internal effects of fibro-fog. Exercise really does fuel your body in a number of ways for a number of reasons. The exercises will clear your head. And with a clear mindset, you have more focus and energy to tackle the tasks of the day. If possible, seriously, try to find some time in your early mornings to exercise. Whether you're doing a nice stretch routine or go for a morning walk. Walk to the corner. Walk 500 yards today. Walk 600 tomorrow. Start walking. It's probably one of the best. If you don't want to walk or there's a reason that you can't walk, get up, do those stretches, get that body stretched out, get those arms moving, get those legs moving, get them excited. Go on to YouTube and find those, whether you're in a wheelchair. If you're in a wheelchair, there's no reason those leg muscles shouldn't be exercising every day. I know firsthand what it is that you need to do, and I know how it hurts, but you need to do it because use them or lose them. So you simply get some of those tension bands or rubber bands. You get yourself a towel if you don't have one of those, and you put that under your foot and you lift those knees up to your chin, up to your chin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 times. And you do that with each leg, and then you do that with each arm, and then you turn your head and you turn it as much as you possibly can. Try to see, use your eyes, turn your eyes. See how much you can see once you've turned your head all the way. Turn your eyes all the way. See how much you can see behind you. Do it to the other side. These are exercises that are really reasonably easy to do, but they help keep our body, our tendons flexible and moving. It helps to keep the cramps and the yuckiness and the inflammation away from our muscles and our joints. Daily exercise also helps you to maintain that consistent sleep schedule. That consistent sleep schedule that we talked about. And more rest obviously means more energy, which helps to reduce that fatigue that can set in for no apparent reason. There's plenty of reasons the fatigue is setting in, of course, because taking it one thing at a time, directing your attention to one task at a time, will help you to eliminate the disorientation that you are probably going to feel. I know I certainly feel it with the fibro-fog. You can do things like create to-do lists and visualize one by one passing by you in a process while you're doing a meditation. I've often done that. I've started my morning with a meditation of health and healing and happiness and my ability to retain information and my ability to have a positive and good day, in that the rays of the sun are going to shine brightly through in the day, giving life to all things and all creatures, in as much as it's going to flow through my heart and out into the world so that I too may do its work. And that gives me a very happy, oozy sort of a feeling. And it's kind of a morning meditation, hypnotic meditation, especially when I'm waking up feeling kind of yucky. I don't want to do that. I don't want to start my day with yuck. So I don't. I tell my brain that it's not dealing with yuck today. And in fact, the sun, brother sun, is going to come in and help me do what I have to do. And you can learn how to do these things too. If you want to work with me, please feel free to book a discovery call. We can discuss a unique plan that will work for you based on your environment, circumstances, and personality, to help get you into a daily routine and develop your own strategy processes. So I start my day off that way. And then somewhere in the middle of the day, I will actually sit in a meditative state. I will zone, whether I zone in on, the salt and pepper shaker, maybe at the table while I'm having my lunch, or I may zone into a leaf while I'm sitting on the balcony and just watch it kind of move in the wind. And while I'm zoning in, I also have things, I certainly have tools that I use as well. So sometimes when I'm sitting at my desk, you can see I just brought down some of my stick-up notes, right, that I have to pay attention to. But I also keep my medallion, which was gifted to me by Cher Cunningham at Cunningham School of Hypnosis. And I have it that it hangs over so that I can access it if I need to, or I will zone in on it. Let me return this to location for it to get my attention later today. And so I will use something like this and I will zone in. And when I zone in on one of these tools, what I do, and especially if it's something that's moving, I will actually see with each movement one of my to-dos for the day or the next couple of days, kind of dance in front of me, show me as a slideshow what it is I need to do. Now, I will attach colors to that. You may attach sounds. You might attach perhaps an odor. You might attach a smell, but attach something to that visual in your mind as you're meditating of each of your to-dos on your task list. Don't make it a list. Make it one individual board that comes forward and says, so for example, today I want to talk to my grandson again. I now have a board that comes up here and I've got all the bright blues and the greens and the yellows around that board. And on that board, there's a picture of my grandson and there's happiness and there's colors. And that for me means that at one point today, I will come back to my grandson. I have a couple of clients who have reached out to me, or a couple of other people, and a couple of people who have are looking for some help and assistance, all of which are on my list. And if I look at the list, I get lost because I'm fighting fibro-fog. So instead I take it one at a time. So I know that I will contact this person, and as soon as I flip it over, there you are. Excellent. I can see everything that I have to do for you, and I can move that along. And I do that during my lunchtime meditation. I run through my to-do list. I visualize them one by one. It's a process. It takes 3 to 5 minutes to do. And honestly, it works. Making your own to-do list is a lot of fun. If you're somebody that needs that whole physical with it, maybe coloring in, find something that works for you. It's also important to keep your brain primed. Seriously, participate in brain games or mental exercises. I play Sudoku, which is not, it's usually sitting right here, but I believe it's on the balcony. It helps me keep my brain focusing, working on the numbers, and I like to switch it up a little bit. So I'll do a little bit of Sudoku. I'll play Scrabble, especially on the days when I am challenged by reading. Sometimes during fibro-fog, I find it very difficult to stay focused when I'm reading. So I don't. I might do a jigsaw puzzle. I might do some painting. There's no rule that says you need to work out of your mind alone. You can actually play a game of chess or checkers with a friend. The point is to keep your brain activity flowing while you're enjoying time of strengthening your brain. Okay. Switching up how you do work when you're dealing with fibro-fog is especially important. Embracing change becomes an absolute priority. The exhaustion that people face, some wrestle with maintaining a steady work schedule. I know I myself do sometimes as well. It gets challenging. So try your best to stay focused. If possible, you may need to readjust your hours of work with your health and work requirements. Again, get comfortable with the idea of change. Embrace change. Change is important. The most important thing to worry about is actually how you feel. Changing your availability can help prevent some extreme exhaustion or feeling of burnt out. I try and get some extra shows ahead so that when I'm feeling that time and I need that time down for myself, I can just run a pre-recorded so that I can take that time. If you feel more energized, you really will be able to accomplish more work. It's just that simple. Now, there are different things that we have to consider, like we do. Most fibro patients have, especially fibromyalgia patients in the north, we have vitamin D and magnesium deficiencies. These things irritate the symptoms of fibromyalgia, especially and in particular fibro-fog. Soaking up sun rays, sun protection, of course, eating fish, eggs, cheese, I'm a little bit skeptical about. So ignore that. So you know what? Eating fish, eating eggs, getting sun rays, kale, cannabis, raw cannabis, my friends. Get it into your daily diet. Because it's full of absolutely everything we need, including vitamin D. Yep, vitamin D is in cannabis, any of your leafy greens. Similarly, you can start changing the food that you eat. Start crowding out some of the crap cardboard stuff. If it comes in cardboard, chances are it's crap. Start going for the real stuff. Crowd out the crap with real stuff. Both vitamin D and magnesium, you can get them in supplement forms at varying dosages. I'm not even going to pretend to tell you that I know what the dosages are because I don't do the synthetic crap. I don't do supplements. I add it in through my food. I do it through juicing and bullets and smoothies. If you feel like you aren't getting enough proper nutrients through the food that you're eating, supplements might be for you. But before doing that, I really strongly recommend investing in something like a NutriBullet. And it doesn't get any easier than the way that I do it because I'm telling you, I'm lazy when it comes to some things, and it's okay to be lazy. Here's what I do. I buy a bag of frozen vegetables, or I create in the summertime, in the fall, I make bags of frozen vegetables and frozen fruits. So I buy them or I make them. But either way, I got a bag of frozen veggies, and it's all the mixed veggies. There's carrots and broccoli. There's beans. There's, what am I missing in there? I don't know. But you guys, cauliflower. But you guys get the idea. And spinach and yada, 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 right? All your frozen vegetables, all your frozen fruits into 2 bags. Taking a handful of frozen veggies and a handful of frozen fruits, mixing them together with some sort of juice, a handful of raw cannabis leaf, and or a teaspoon or 2 of hemp seed. You will get all of the essential nutrients that you need. Now, here's the trick to mixing those things up. They don't always look pretty because of the green. They end up looking kind of, I'm not so sure I really want to touch that. But the truth is, if you start, if you're just starting, try your greens. So keep greens together. Go maybe green broccoli, a handful of green broccoli, and a handful of green pears. Mix those 2 together with some sort of medium, liquid medium. Almond milk is a wonderful option. And a handful of cannabis leaf, raw cannabis leaf. Put that in there. Mix that all up. Throw it through your bullet. Pour it in a glass. And I'm telling you, it's fabulous. Mix carrots and oranges with a little bit of maybe ginger or turmeric, or get creative. But the secret to starting bullets and to getting your body and your taste buds familiar with that pop of flavor is truly keeping the same colors together. And that's how I did it. Now I don't care. I'm too lazy. Everything goes in each in its own bag, and it's like a handful of this, handful of that. Whip it together and ba-bam. I'm a happy camper, right? Healthy, happy, strong. And every day, in every way, I get better and better. That's a song by That's a quote from Emile Coué, who is an amazing hypnotist. It's common to feel frustrated when you're dealing with the symptoms of fibro-fog. And you know what? I am the first to admit how challenging it can be. Time making those bath salts absorb it. Okay, as you can see. If you want to add in some other essential herbs like rosemary or lavender, you can. I'm not that particular. I like the straight up cannabis bath, period. Let it soak for a while till all the oil is fully absorbed in the salts. You might want to sprinkle them out a little bit so it doesn't become a clumpy ball. If it does become a clumpy ball, not a big deal. Okay, it's going in your bath. It's a very enjoyable experience. That's the screen I was trying to show you. Apparently, I was looking at it. You guys were not. My apologies. So yeah, that's basically how you're going to make your bath salts, using the oil that you made just previous to that. If you have any questions, or you want this recipe, you want the specific amounts of how I make mine, because mine are really do-it-yourself, homemade jobbies. What you want to do is go to greenirene.ca and type in the search bar cannabis infused oil or cannabis infused coconut oil. Get the recipe for that and for the bath salts. If you don't find it at Green Irene, or you're already on YouTube or something like that, you can find all kinds of other recipes there. I like to keep it simple. I like to keep it very, very, very simple. So this is the simplest way that you can do it. Now, all right, so I have officially shared exactly how to use cannabis. Oh, smoking cannabis. Okay, some very specific strains. I have found Romulan to be wow. Okay, but my absolute favorite for every day, day after day, and I think it's because the plant hasn't become stable, the strain has not become stabilized yet. So every different plant of the Purple Project seems to have a different cannabinoid and terpene profile, which means it changes up just a little bit, which is why currently it is still so good for me. I love Purple Project. Purple Project is a cross hybrid of Granddaddy Purple and Chemdog. It's great for relieving pain. It's fantastic for aiding in Fibro-Fight. It helps it helps me rest and relax, and it's also good for meditation. So my favorite is Purple Project. Some others that you may want to really consider is Romulan. Romulan is a very powerful indica. It was named after the infamous Star Trek species. I love Star Trek. Romulans are like they're powerful and they're strong and they're blah blah blah. Okay, so it's one of the best strains for treating nerve damage. Romulan, absolutely. Great for muscle spasms. It's even I can't express enough how good Romulan is for relieving pain. It has a very strong sedative effect, however. So you don't want to use it during the day, but at nighttime, it's great for relaxing the body, reducing the tension in the legs, relieving the pain from nerve damage, and helping you zone into a nice sleepy space. Another one that I have tried this year that I kind of like, this is a new list. I'm actually going through my new fibro list. And yes, I will be releasing the Strain a Day book very soon. Scooby Snacks. This is actually an indica dominant hybrid. It has very high THC levels. Scooby Snacks start with a super heavy, heady's not the word, kind of like a cerebral, buzzy kind of feeling and a body relaxation. However, honest to God, when it starts to wear off, you start getting giggly. It's really kind of a fun strain. Cannatonic for cannatonic for fibro patients. Most of the fibro patients that I have recommended this to all really like it. It has a very high CBD count, very low THC, and it's a good choice for both beginners and veteran users because it produces just a slight psychoactive effect that really doesn't last for too long. In fact, if you're someone who's been taking pharmaceuticals and haven't tried cannabis in a really long time, like when you were a teenager and you did it for the whole getting high purpose, but now you're looking at cannabis as a overall therapeutic tool, Cannatonic is a great one to start with. The buzz isn't any more significant than what you would get from, say, a Tylenol 3 with codeine. Except Cannatonic comes without all of those horrible, nasty side effects. Last but not least is Dynamite. Dynamite is an indica strain. It contains slightly more THC than CBD, but it's really close to a 50-50. And you'll both get high, a little bit of a high, and a lot of pain-free. Because of the high CBD, you get that reduction in inflammation, which will, and in turn, the THC will help you to relax. Those muscles relax. The inflammation goes down. There's no more pressure on the nerves. The nerves aren't sending messages to the brain. The brain is, rewriting new programs to deal with this the next time. So those are some really great strains. Some other really great strains that I can name off the top of my head. Tahoe OG was a great one. It was fantastic for severe pain. Blue Dream is fantastic for meditation and wonderful for using during the day. There's others like Critical Mass and Key Lime Pie that you may want to consider. But the bottom line is there's all kinds of different strains out there. If you or people you care about are struggling with fibromyalgia symptoms, the studies and surveys I found in my research indicate that cannabis is a very, very, very helpful treatment. My own experiences say, yes, there's absolute relief in a cannabis-infused bath with enjoying an inhalation. If you don't like having the burnt plant material, this Shatterizer, I'm telling you, is one of the greatest tools. It uses concentrate, so you're not actually using the flower, and you may want to, turn your cannabis flower if you're growing your own, which I hope you are, because you have the right to grow for, even without a medical license. And it gives you the opportunity to start experimenting. Use the Shatterizer with your live resin. Otherwise, get yourself a dry herb vape like the Volcano or the Mighty, and enjoy. On that note, guys, I think I have way gone past my time. Yes, I have, by approximately 10 minutes. I chatted a little more than normal today. My apologies. Thank you very much for tuning in today to Green Irene's the Fibro-Fight series. In a couple of weeks, we're going to start introducing a number of other conditions that hypnosis, NLP, and cannabis are extremely effective at fighting. All right. On that note, I'm Green Irene. Don't forget to tune in later this week to Pace Radio. On Sunday, we have a new show starting. It is the Integration Station at 11 a.m. on Sunday. It's all about psychedelics, mushrooms, fungi. All right, tune into that Sundays at 11 here on paceradio.net. Monday, we're back with Reefer Reporters, which is cannabis news around the globe and back again. We also have on Tuesday, Green Irene's THC Talk Time, where we will be talking to people in the industry from medical to recreational, from retail to grow. Okay. And Wednesday, we have the meditation program at noon, and we have the radio show at 8 p.m. Thursday, we're back with Reefer Reporters, cannabis news around the globe. And Fridays, as always, I will be here fighting fibro with you as a warrior, thriving, not surviving, thriving. All right. On that note, peace out. Be happy, get healthy, and Lordy B, stay strong.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The views expressed by the individuals during this broadcast are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
BMA Hydroponics has everything you need to succeed. Visit our hydroponics superstore at 404 Maitland Drive in Belleville, and we'll show you how to grow your own quality cannabis for pennies per gram. We're open Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Thursdays and Fridays from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Call 613-967-9888. BMA Hydroponics. It's worth the drive.
The only way to go.
At Legacy 420, we believe in being different.
Experience the difference of quality control.
Our labs provide tested formulations for all of our products.
Experience the difference in trust.
Our customers can trust that we are following up-to-date COVID precautions for their safety.
Experience the difference in accessibility.
We're open 7 days a week. Please visit our website, legacy420.com, or contact us for curbside pickup as well as nationwide mail order shipping.
Legacy 420 values overall wellness.
Come and experience the difference of Legacy 420.
Did you know that the Pace Radio Network isn't just a radio network? That's right, because most, but not all of our programming is now done via video and is then podcasted at paceradio.net. So if you want to watch our programming, you'll find us on the Pace Radio Network's Facebook page, plus the show's own page, and you'll find us live on the network's YouTube channel. And don't forget, you can find it all, video and audio, at paceradio.net.
A doctor's job is to relieve your pains. And when it comes to growing cannabis, the biggest pain is trimming. Let Dr. Buck Cannabis Trimming Solutions take the pain away. Whether you're a home grower or a commercial operation, we have the cure. From 4 plants to 400 plants, garden size doesn't matter. Dr. Buck Cannabis Trimming Solutions comes to you with years of experience and professional discreet service. It's simple. We trim your weed and we do a damn good job. Visit drbuckcts.com to book your trimming.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more. We've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.